RAM prices have risen quietly but significantly, and for many people, the increase feels sudden. If you've recently looked at memory prices for a PC upgrade, a new laptop, or even a workstation, you may have noticed that RAM costs far more than it did not long ago. This isn't a random spike, and it isn't caused by a single event. According to publicly available reporting and industry analysis, several long-term forces are converging at the same time, and together they're reshaping the global memory market. So what's really driving these higher prices, and why does it matter right now? The visible price jump. Over the past year, prices for DRAM, including DDR4 and DDR5, have steadily increased across global markets. Retail listings, distributor pricing, and industry reports all point in the same direction. Memory is becoming more expensive. What makes this notable is that the increase isn't limited to one product type. Consumer RAM, enterprise memory, and server-grade modules have all experienced upward pressure. This suggests the cause isn't local or temporary, it's systemic. So what changed in a market that's usually very cyclical? A highly concentrated industry. The global RAM market is dominated by just a few manufacturers. Samsung Electronics, SK Hynix, and Micron collectively produce the vast majority of the world's memory chips. Because of this concentration, strategic decisions by these companies have an outsized impact on global supply and pricing. According to industry reporting, memory manufacturers reduced production during earlier periods of weak demand to stabilize profitability. Fabrication capacity was adjusted, and investment was more cautious than in previous expansion cycles. At the time, this helped balance the market, but it also meant that when demand began to rise again, supply could not quickly scale to match it, and when demand returned, it didn't come from where many expected. AI's growing appetite for memory. One of the most consistently reported drivers behind rising RAM prices is artificial intelligence infrastructure. AI workloads require enormous amounts of memory, not just GPUs, but system RAM and specialized memory formats used in servers and data centers. Compared to traditional enterprise computing, AI systems consume far more memory per deployment. Publicly available reporting indicates that memory suppliers are prioritizing high-margin enterprise and AI customers. From a business perspective, this makes sense. These customers purchase large volumes and pay premium prices. However, this shift reduces the supply available for consumer products like PCs and laptops. The result is a classic imbalance: strong demand on one side, limited supply on the other. But AI demand alone doesn't tell the full story. The transition to newer memory standards. At the same time, the memory industry is undergoing a transition between generations. Manufacturers are shifting capacity from older standards such as DDR4 toward newer ones like DDR5, as well as advanced memory formats designed for AI workloads. Transitions like this are rarely smooth. During these periods, production efficiency often drops and costs increase as factories retool and supply chains adjust. Meanwhile, millions of existing systems still rely on older memory types, keeping demand for legacy products alive. This overlap, where old and new standards are both in demand, puts additional strain on manufacturing capacity. So does this mean prices will stay high indefinitely? Memory pricing cycles, and what's different this time. Historically, memory markets move in cycles. Periods of rising prices are often followed by stabilization or gradual declines as supply catches up. According to industry analysts, this pattern still applies, but with an important difference. AI infrastructure represents long-term, sustained demand rather than a short consumer-driven surge. Data centers and enterprise deployments are planned years in advance, not months. This suggests that while prices may eventually soften, the baseline level could remain higher than in previous cycles. So what does this mean for everyday buyers? The impact on consumers and builders. For everyday users, higher RAM prices make upgrades less appealing. For system builders and professionals, memory costs now play a larger role in overall system planning. Some manufacturers have responded by offering configurations with less memory at lower price points, while others pass increased costs directly to consumers. The key takeaway isn't urgency, it's understanding. Knowing why prices are rising allows buyers to make informed decisions rather than reacting to headlines. Looking ahead, Publicly available forecasts suggest that memory supply will gradually expand as manufacturers respond to sustained demand. However, expansion takes time, and the AI sector continues to grow. This means RAM pricing is likely to remain a significant factor in hardware costs throughout the near future. The rise in RAM prices isn't the result of speculation or short-term disruption. It reflects deeper structural changes in how memory is produced, allocated, and consumed in a world increasingly shaped by AI. As memory becomes more strategic, its price reflects its importance, not just its capacity. In the next video, we'll take a closer look at how AI workloads are reshaping the entire hardware ecosystem from CPUs to storage, and what that means for future upgrades.